chicka wow wow. What's up, party people? Welcome to another episode of Elkivate Your Life. I am your hostess with the mostess. L as in the letter L, and key as in the key to your heart. Welcome to this Wisdom Wellness Wednesday. Shout out to my birthday peeps, my Pisces girls and boys, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to Mrs. Illicery, Miss Illicery, Michelle Illicery. Happy birthday to you. We miss you. We love you. I'm going to make sure I send you this episode so that you know I wished you a happy birthday in this episode. Another perfect Pisces, precious Pisces. Trying to think if there's any other Pisces that I've left out. I know I said happy birthday to Andrew, Damien, Teresa. Can't think of anybody else. All right, so moving right along. So, Kyle Few, one of my loyal subscribers, aka family member. By the way, thanks for joining me on Wisdom Wellness Wednesday, February 25th. Kyle had suggested in response to my previous podcast that what we see on the outside comes from the inside. I can't remember how he framed it. Forgive me, Kyle. I would have to go back to the notes, and I have other notes for the podcast, so I can't go back and quote you specifically. But basically, his recommendation was to go and look up Neville Goddard. Little did I know, I've listened and read much of Neville Goddard and didn't remember the name until I went back and listened. And I'm like, oh, I've definitely listened to his recordings, YouTubes, reels, etc. And what Neville Goddard speaks about is that your own human imagination is the source of all things. What does that mean? Basically, he talks about how you can wish for something and you can manifest it and make it your reality, but you really have to wish it, think it, believe it into existence. For example, he talks about identifying your desires. And what he says is that, I encourage you to clearly define what you truly desire, not what others think you should want or not going by what anybody else says. Identify your own desires, and you should be able to vividly imagine and feel them as if they're already true, giving it all the sensory vividness of reality. Even practicing this, even while you're sleeping. So what you're doing is it's interesting because my daughter sent me something maybe a month ago, speaking favor over my life, and I've been doing that more religiously throughout the day, when I go to bed, kind of chanting. And, well, it's kind of like the advice I give my husband when he goes, oh, it's going to be a terrible day. I say, don't speak that over yourself. Do not speak that out to the universe. It's basically the same idea, because whatever you're speaking over yourself, your life, your day, you will manifest into existence. Like, oh, it's going to be a terrible day. Okay, now you're going to have a terrible day. Instead of waking up saying, I'm going to have a great day filled with smiles and love and laughter and embracing all the things, just giving you examples. So, inevitable manifestation, by doing this, you take the imagined state and you resurrect and objectify it into the physical world. You may have heard of famous authors, business owners, successful millionaires, billionaires that say, I thought this for myself. I envisioned it for myself. Athletes, they talk about how they thought these things into existence from when they were a child, even. And after listening to Neville Goddard, it makes perfect sense. What he talks about is manifesting what you want into existence. And it's not just about thinking about it, about wishing it. You have to speak on it as if it's already here, as if it's already happening. And by doing so, it will lead you to the fulfillment to where you will manifest these things into existence. So that's what I want to encourage all of you out there that might say things like, I'm poor. Don't say that. Don't speak that over yourself. Simply say, I can't even think of another example that I would want you to say. Um, I'll use this example. I have been speaking out. I receive favor over my life. My bank account is never empty. I always have money ever flowing to me, with me. I'm trying to remember the chant that I say. I don't want to give you too much of an example. Even during my autoimmune, which hasn't had a flare up until a few days ago, unfortunately, ladies and gents. But instead of speaking that over myself, I've been saying, I'm healed, I'm healed. Because I didn't have a flare up for a long time. And since I recently had a flare up, I say, I'm getting better and better with every breath, with every moment, with every thought. I feel healed. And I used to tell my kids all the time when we were sick, instead of saying, I'm sick, I'm miserable, I'm this, would say, I'm getting better and better every day in every way. And that's one of the many things that we would say about ourselves. And especially since I got the autoimmune, I just kept saying, I'm healing myself. I am no longer sick. This was just a temporary situation. I mean, I won't bore you with all the things that I said, but yes. So it kind of is in line with what I recently did, which I talked to all of you about, which is creating a vision board. Why do people create vision boards? So that we can look at, manifest, remind ourselves what we want for ourselves. We have to visualize it. We have to believe it. We have to see it. We have to think it, breathe it, say it. all the things. Heck, even my kids at school, when they go, oh my God, I'm not ready for this test, I'm going to fail, I say, no. You are going to pass this test with flying colors. You are going to excel at these questions. Your memory is going to serve you so well. So, sorry guys, I'm attempting to eat my dinner and drink while I'm doing my pod because it's way past my dinner time. So, I simply wanted to encourage you to get in the habit. If you want to change your life, all of these theories are based on Neville Goddard's teachings, and he just emphasizes the power of the imagination in manifesting reality. And basically, the core message is that all objective reality originates from imagination. And you really need to identify what your desires are, clearly define what you truly desire, not what others think you should want or what other people want for you. And then once you have that, you want to embrace the feeling. You should be able to vividly imagine and feel it as if it's already true, so that you are giving it all the sensory vividness of reality. And then when you are going to sleep, you want to be saying these feelings as you're going to sleep so that you are going to bed with those thoughts. You are repeating those thoughts. You are sleeping, imagining, visualizing, dreaming of these things becoming reality. So I want to encourage all of you to do that. Creative Kara, Roger, Travis, Dory, Rhonda, Mike, Jeff. I'm just naming some of my subscribers as well as a handful of my loyal listeners. Barry. Out of all of them, I know of things that you all want for your life. And it's important that we do these things to create the life that we want. Don't live in the past. Don't hold on to things that have dictated how your life is. Start believing and envisioning and manifesting the things you do, the things you want. And you really have to see them and visualize them and believe them into existence. I'm going to do the same, but I cannot share what these things are. Other than I can tell you, I will be traveling to Europe, the Maldives. I will be going on a cruise. I'll be traveling to see my family in Europe. I'm not going to get into specifics, but these are some of the things I personally put on my vision board. And I will be an infamous podcaster that will be across the globe making money. My name will be known. People will be speaking out, Elevate Your Life, in various different languages in other countries, which currently I already am in several countries, various cities. I continue to grow with every episode. And that is where you, my loyal listeners, come in. If you are able and willing to subscribe for as little as a cup of coffee or as much as a Happy Meal. It would be a great honor. I can shout out about you, your business, your hobbies, your interest. Maybe you have a business you want to get off the ground. Maybe you're interested in pursuing other avenues and you want me to get your name out there. I would love to help you do that. Shout out to my loyal subscribers, Lisa Roberts Curbello, Jeff Para, Mike Kaufman, Roger, Kyle Few, Commitment to Love, Love is a Verb, Creative Kara, lovemyartist.etsy.com, or Linktree, Love My Artist, Angie Germer, Thrive, Lavelle. If you're looking to fill nutritional gaps or get healthy, put on muscle, lose weight, whatever the case may be, Angie's your girl. And if you're looking for any sort of creative idea for birthday, anniversary, proposal, anything, any sort of occasion you can think of, Creative Kara is your girl. And you can find everyone's links in my podcast content. Also, shout out to my girl, Giza. Thank you for keeping me looking so young and fresh. To be continued on that, Miss Giza. Anyway, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Thank you for following. If any of this content resonated with you or someone you know, Debbie, please feel free to hit that like button, share, subscribe, comment. It means a lot to me. It shows me that I have listeners that are actually out there listening, paying attention. A lot of you are commenting that the topics have resonated with you. So that's what keeps me going. And as I said, I will continue to go and grow on a larger, more global scale. I'm counting on you to help me do so, Andrew. So thank you for tuning in once again to Wisdom Wellness Wednesday, February 25th. Until next time, ciao for now.